Hello, welcome back, my spreadsheet enthusiasts. In today's lesson, we are going to explore the powerful world of pivot tables in Google Sheets. And whether you are new or not, I'm pretty sure you are going to enjoy it. You learn how to create pivot tables. You learn how to summarize data and apply filters to pivot tables for this session. There'll be another video for how to group data in pivot table and also how to do calculated field. So this is pretty basic. Let's start. How do we create pivot table for data analysis? What we do, let me explain this. Pivot table actually is a fantastic tool for analyzing and summarizing large amounts of data quickly. And we are going to do that with this sort of data right here. This data here, it shows sales of cars in various branches, right? And these branches are in different cities. Every city has one: Los Angeles, New York, Chicago. These are the three major cities of a garage. And so it has them in month, car make. It sells about 4 different types of cars. If I'm not wrong, we will find this in a pivot table. And then it has a number of reps. Every branch has a number of reps. I can't see it from this table here. And there is a quantity of cars that are sold, unit price, and income or sales, right? So we are going to use pivot tables to really understand what we want. Maybe we want to know the average quantities sold in each month. The months are here. Maybe we want to know the average income for each car make, right? Or maybe we want to know who sold the most cars, which city sold the most cars. There are a number of questions we may want to know, right? So depending on what we want, we can use pivot tables to just arrive there. So how do we get to pivot tables? First of all, you will select the range of the table you want to work from. Let's select it well from here. Okay. And then you come to the insert menu, you click on it, and then you come to pivot table. It asks you whether you want it in a new sheet or you want it in an existing sheet. This one is simply the range that we just selected. Okay. We want it in a new sheet or one in an existing sheet. We could have had it here. Okay, but we want it in a new sheet. So we hit create. Great. Now this is our pivot table. Okay. So this is the workspace, and this is where we will be controlling the workspace from. So you can see rows, row is here, values is here, and then columns, right? Row basically is going to be spread through here when you put anything in rows. Columns will be spread horizontally here, and then values will be right here, the white space. So values mostly will be numbers, okay? It will be doing some counting, some sum, some average. That is what values does. And then rows and columns, any other thing you put in there. So you can see the various fields in our table. The table, it showed month, car make, branch, reps, quantity sold. You know, we have all these here. So depending on how we want to see. So let's say, first of all, we want to see the average quantities sold each month. Okay, so we want to see the months, and I want to know the quantities that were sold. So you can just come here, click on month, drag it to, let's say, the rows. You see the months populate here, right? Okay. When we learn grouping, we will group all the January into one January, all the February into one February. But this is not what we are doing right now. And then we want to know the average quantities sold. So if it is quantities, we come here to check the fields. Okay, which one is quantity sold? This is quantity sold, and we want to know it in a number. So that should go to the values, right? We could send it to the month, we could send it to column, we could send it to values. We want to send it to values. Okay, great. Now it gives us nicely. This is it. Sum and then the values. Okay. Okay, so let's say we want to know the average. How do we get to know the average? You can come here. You see, you click on this button right here. Okay. You click on this button right here, and then it gives you some average, max, mean, median. I mean, all of that. So you click on average, and then we get to see it, the average for the various months. Great. So let's say I want to know the car that sold most. Which car make sold most throughout the year? So I want to just take these off. To take it off, you just come here. This is the rows. You can just close it. This is the values. I can just take it off. Okay. So I want to know the cars that sold most. I can come to car make, drag it to rows, and then that sold most. It means I want to know quantity sold. Okay. Or I could say I want to know income, whichever one I think I want. I want quantity sold, and I can drag it to values right here. And then you can see it. Chevy sold 60 units, Ford sold 81. So I want to know which one sold most. That needs some sorting, right? Sometimes you can have a data that is very, very long, and you can use your eyes to actually get what you want to get. Here, my eyes, I can see Ford sold the most because it has 81 units sold. But if it's a very long data, I can't be doing this. So I can use sorting. This is where we do sorting. You can come here, okay, in the car make. It says sort by. I want to sort by car make. No, I want to sort by sum of quantity sold. So I click on sum of quantity sold, and I want it in descending order so that I can see the biggest first. Great. And then we see Ford right here is 81. Okay, so let's say I want to know who sold the most cars amongst all the reps. Who sold the most cars? I can take these off, and then I can come here. I want reps. I'll put reps in rows, and then I will put, let's say, units or income, whichever one. I want quantity sold right here in values. So I can see that Alexander Lee 36, Alexander Smith 47. If I want it in descending order, I come here, right? And then I click on sum of quantities. So that's what I want to do. And then I do descending. And then the one who sold most is Ethan Thompson. I hope you have got it, how you work around these, right? So we can check from the cities, we can check so many things. So let's just build a bigger cross tab and see. So let's take this out. Okay, we can you can put a number of fields under one row. I'll show you. So let's say we bring the branch, okay, to the rows, and then under the branch we have reps. So you don't bring reps on top of branch, okay? You bring reps under branch. Sometimes you see some of these things. Yes. So you see Chicago, we have Amanda, Isabel, Olivia. And then we come to Los Angeles, we have Alexander, Christopher, Jason. We come to New York, so, it's like that. Then we have the reps. What do we want to do next? We want the car make that is sold. So we can decide to put car make under columns, or we can decide to put it under values, whichever way we want to see it. So we want to put it under columns. You can also put it under rows. If you put it there and then it's able to help you to find what you need, then that's good. If it doesn't, you take it out. So let's just put it under columns, okay? There's a car make, okay? You see it under columns. And then we want to know the units sold, right? We want the units sold, we put it under values. You can see it nicely populated here, right? So this is, we put unit price, okay? So let's say I want the quantity sold. Yes. Amanda, 712, okay. Look here, you can as well You can as well apply format to your table. I want this one well formatted. You remember how to format. You select it, the range, and then you come to format. You go to alignment. We want everything centered nicely. Great. So now we can see everything clearly, right? So let's say Chicago. We want Chicago to be, we call something repeated rows. You can come here, right? That you want repeated rows, Chicago, you want it to be repeated throughout, you can click on this and then you see it right there. If you don't want it, you take it off. You get it. You can also show totals or take off totals. You get it. This is the grand total. If you don't want it, you click here, it goes away. Great. So this is all there is about the basics of pivot table. And lastly, let me show you something about filters and then something little about values. So filters, let's say we want to filter, right? This table, I want this also in the row, the car sold. I want it in the row. So I can, the car make, I can take it off, come here, and then drag and put it under row. You see, I've changed how the table looks like. So here we have Chicago, we have, let me expand this. We have Amanda. Amanda sells Chevy, Ford, Honda, Hyundai. So, you know, I can see it this way. Maybe I prefer it this way. Whichever way you prefer it, you can do it, right? So let's say I also want to take out the cities. I can just come here, or the branches. I can come here and I'll take it off. Okay, so now we have only the reps, right? Maybe there is a particular rep I want to be observing to see how she did her sales. I can come here to the filters. Whatever you want to filter, you drag it from here. If you want to filter car make, you drag car make. If you want to filter units of, let me expand this. Good. If you want to filter quantity sold, you just pick it and drag it here. So we want to filter the rep. So I'll come here, drag rep into filter. Okay. Now we have rep into filter. I can click on show all items. I can clear all. And then let's say I want to see Amanda. Click this and then click OK, right? You click and then you click OK. Okay, so this is the filter. So you click this. The button is hidden somewhere. That's the problem. Good. So you clear everything, and then we want Amanda. So when I hit OK, it takes off every other person, and then we only have Amanda to be narrowing our analysis on. So Amanda did well. Amanda, Chevy, Ford, Honda, Hyundai, whatever it is, we can see it. So this is how filters actually work. Whichever one, maybe we want everything to come back, you select all, you want Amanda and Smith. You click OK, you see Amanda and Smith. Okay, so this is how filters actually work. So we've looked at filters, we've looked at how you do the sorting, we've looked at how you repeat rows, how you do values, and yes. So let's see one last thing. Let's bring everybody back. Let's bring everybody back. Okay, we've selected all. Everybody is back. Now let's say we want to see percentage-wise how they performed. When you come to values and you click on you click on show us, okay, we have percentage of row, percentage of column, percentage of grand total. So we want to see percentage of grand total. You click on this, it gives you, okay, Alexander did 10.14% of the whole sales. Let's expand this. Okay, Alexander Lee, Alexander Smith, Amanda did about 10.14%. So this is what pivot table basically do. You can play with it. You can do so many things. You can drag so many things into one column. You can drag so many things into one row. You can drag so many things into the values. You can drag something into filter, whichever way you want to do it. Okay, so just go ahead and then be trying your hands on that. In the next videos, we are looking at how to do grouping and also how to actually do calculated field, because we could do some calculations and bring an extra table here. Congratulations on mastering the art of pivot tables. You've learned so much today. And what I'll say is that you have to try your hands on it. You have to keep practicing, right? Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting Google Sheet tutorials. If you have any questions or you want to share your pivot table success stories, please leave a comment below. I appreciate it. Thank you.